lot in common. All right.
Are you courting him for your next team?
Let's get into the game. Let's make it happen.
All right, Cinderin, how are you doing? It's been so long since we've cast together. I'm so happy to be here with you. Boy, oh boy.
Yeah, it's been the longest 15 minutes of my life.
Yeah, me too. How do you like the lineups as a whole?
Yeah, part of me really feels like NIP has a better draft, but I have this experience of watching. Oh, hang on, let's wait with that for a second. All right,
we're gonna see the combo that does not connect this time. The Inkswell Shikuchi, we've seen so much during this tournament so far. Looks like Saberlight will just Shikuchi out to safety.
Yeah,
go ahead.
So I've seen so many secret strategies in the past where there's like this one mid-game timing that is really powerful, and they just play off it exceptionally well. For NIP, their 4 non-Naga heroes are super good at making moves and taking early skirmishes and fights. But I feel like Secret can kind of weather the storm with just saves. They have Disruption, Blinding Light, Aphotic Shield. Haunt is kind of a pseudo save, and then Dragon Knight is innately tanky. So I'm worried that NIP don't have enough damage to actually kill this lineup in the mid game, and that's when they want to make kills, right? Like that's what this dire lineup does. It makes skirmishes, Naga farms. You have no tower damage, no objective taken. You can't kill Roche, so you need to kill heroes to put pressure on the map. Like your wave clear is not superior either. Both enemy supports have wave clear, all 3 cores have wave clear. So Secret won't lose in that department either.
How do you kill the illusions if it gets? So you're saying if it gets to late game, you favor Nip, though, right? Or not?
It's not that
Spectre,
black and white.
Okay.
If it gets late enough and Naga is farmed enough, I think there will definitely be like a span where NIP is really strong if Charlie's farmed. But I don't think it's just a free Naga game. Like, yeah, you're maybe not the best against these illusions, but a farmed Spectre can kill the rest of your team. And Naga doesn't win games alone. Like, those times are gone. Dota doesn't work that way anymore most of the time. Like, yeah, Naga can be a huge power spike and be a really big threat, but heroes like Coddle, Shadow Demon, and Dragon Knight deal with the illusions pretty well. You have a blind, you can make your own illusions, you have a tanky frontliner that has natural cleave. One of your heroes will buy Radiant Shiva, maybe. Could be the Abaddon, could be something on Dragon Knight. Oh, there's solution. Mjolnirs. Their lineup can get it all.
I mean, Spectre, obviously not a hero that you should scoff at towards the late game. Can absolutely decimate pretty much the entirety of Nip's lineup if the right form is applied. But I'm just looking at Saberlight with this Weaver inevitably getting the time-lapse Aghanim Scepter. That's got to be one of the best ags in the game in terms of just competitive play that I've seen, at least. Just have this ridiculous save from ridiculous ranges. Inkswell, top lane, Yapzor. He's in a bit of trouble here.
Good damage.
We'll get out with a very little HP. We'll salve up to safety. But do you see that being a big item? As this courier is being saved here. Era was trying to go for it.
I would say... Again, the type of strategy that Secret is playing is not one that bursts the hero, right? It's not built to, we're gonna pop key cooldowns, get a kill, and snowball the fight. It's just this sustained ball of, over time, we will edge you out, basically. And I don't think Weaver should even go Ajax this game. I actually don't even know if it's, I don't know if it's good enough.
Just because there's no burst, I mean, it's a 4 seconds? The time lapse, the last 4 seconds, I can't even remember. Something to that effect. But so you're saying because there's no actual like straight up burst damage, Seneco's gonna get first blood in the top lane.
It's 5 seconds, by the way, the time lapse.
So in 5 seconds, you don't think that's value enough to get an Aghanim Scepter at some point?
I mean, the Axe is insanely good. I'm not gonna deny it. It's really good. I'm just, for this particular game, if you're buying it because you think there's going to be enough trouble happening during a DK stun. That's the way I see it.
I mean, I assume you go like something like Spirit Vessel first anyway, because you're going up against a Dragon Knight.
Yeah,
regardless.
I would like to see that as well. We have seen offlane Weavers get a first item. I don't like that here, at least. I think you need more in the way of aggression. Like I already pointed out, I think the problem that NIP will face is of a damage nature. So if your offlane core is buying full utility, that doesn't solve the problem. You have a position 4 Void Spirit, and your carry is not joining for 20 minutes. So Gotta be careful. But nice for NIP at least to get the first blood top. Went on Suneko, he killed Zai. It's a little bit of a head start for the Grimstroke.
This could be big mid lane. Searing Chains is there. Era securing the haste room for Supreme. I was thinking he might just pick that up himself and just get the second blood, as it were, in the mid lane. But we'll be walking back. Of course, has no boots, so mobility isn't the greatest. And the fact that he left means Saberlight was open to take a lot of damage. Has double Wraithband right now and only one Tango. So trying to save up for that bottle.
He is starved.
To take another Tango. Yeah.
He's gonna just keep getting
Salve in lane.
Daggered over and over and over again.
Yeah. There is a sentry down for Nip, expecting perhaps the sentry coming from Secret. I'm not sure if they actually placed one, but either way, they won't have any vision here for now.
It's level 2 chakra now. He's gonna keep bullying them.
Oh,
this is so annoying for Weaver. This is one spell that Weaver can't dodge with Shikuchi that has so long range. Oh, nice blind from Pup. He didn't get it though.
Era gets it anyway though. I'm gonna try to turn it around, but the swarm is here. MATUMBAMAN. Just try to walk this off. He's extremely slow. Jesus. Gets the dagger off, and Supreme is here. He's also very slow. Very slow, in fact. That dagger really does a lot of work, and that's going to prevent anything from happening. Supreme will just have to go back to the mid lane, which he is a half level behind right now as Nisha pops dragon form, so we'll be dealing some damage to this mid lane. Yapsor's here as well. They want to kill him before his remnants come up. How much kill potential do they have? They do not have dragon.
This is a really difficult kill.
Yeah, I mean it's hard to even just take off Flame Guard to begin with. Very, very slow. Era is on the other side of the trees here too, so we'll see if this ends up connecting. Yapsor gonna get the courier. A nice little snipe there.
He's probably dead for that.
He's standing his ground. He's not moving. But yeah, with the Era here in conjunction with Suneko, they should be able to take him out.
Still,
Nisha will get the regen.
Not that bad. Oh man, getting the regen is real good. Like it's not that bad for Secret because they got half a tower and forced a 3-man rotation. So space for Zai top. Bot lane's obviously awesome for Matu right now. 2v1 against the Weaver. Weaver can't do anything in this lane. 1v2. There's like no hope. You just get daggered over and over again. So look at Matu go to town. Non-stop in his face. Throw a dagger again. Break the raindrops.
Well, despite that, though, MATUMBAMAN is actually behind in terms of just pure CS. 31-4 versus 36-3 for the Nagasarian. But I guess some jungle creep should be accounted for, so perhaps not that big of a discrepancy. Looking at the network,
I don't know if there's much jungle involved here, but it's also about like how is the corresponding offlaner doing, right? Yeah, your Naga is farming well, but Abaddon is happy. He has 33 CS on this Abaddon top lane. Weaver in the bot lane has 20 and had to buy raindrops, salve, and go back to base. There's I'm a bit concerned for NIP's offlane player in this game now. Like, how is Saberlight gonna find any purpose in the next 10 minutes if he has to keep going back to a lane where he just gets destroyed? Like,
you have to put it that way. What is your purpose in life, young man? To exist and not die in lane. Good boy.
My purpose is to gain weight.
Why do you keep bringing that up? You're trying to gain weight, Synderen?
No, I'm managing.
Put on some muscle. Okay, I see.
It's something else.
Nisha is in the top lane, by the way, with the dragon form, so dealing some damage to this tower. A little bit surprised he didn't go for the mid. Oh, actually, forced rotation will TP mid and just going to go straight for the tower now. That's a pretty cool move. Now that he's Supreme as top lane, Zai taking some heavy damage. Of course, has a Photic Shield to dispel the Searing Chains.
Double save.
And Nisha will be able to get this tower most likely.
Looks like Zai will die for it.
All right, they will get it. But that did require quite a few heroes coming over, and they're going to lose mid lane. So, very cool move from Nisha. I like that a lot. Going to force a TP, though. Yapsor's getting chased. So the question is, will they have any TPs to save him? Doesn't look like it. Resigned to his death. And that'll end up being a double kill for Supreme. So, now I'm not so sure.
Oh, he doesn't have Dragon Tail. Oh, he does. He does. He just leveled up. He could go for Arrow here.
Has the DD, but the Aether Remnant is there. And TP support from Suneko. Inkswell. He can get this stun off. Will he have enough? Ooh. Does that actually go off like that? That's interesting. Era getting breathe fire. Nisha no longer in range form, so we'll have to catch up the old-fashioned way. We'll give up, though, and apply more pressure to Grimstroke. He's getting surrounded here. Supreme has finally found his way to the mid lane. There's the MATUMBAMAN ult, the haunt to come through. Seneco's gonna live. They're gonna try to force all this pressure onto the Ember Spear, but the Remnant is available. He will live a little bit longer. Looks like it's gonna be a 2-for-1, and the Dragon Knight does fall supreme. Beautiful rotations from Nip. Ends up being a 4-for-1. All they lost was the support Void Spirit.
They did an awesome job at gauging how much they could tank. Era played the outskirts of that fight the whole time. I think Matu made a mistake not haunting on top of the Void Spirit and killing him off, but I guess his camera wasn't there. He started jumping the Grimstroke, the one guy who still had health left. And yeah, they weaved that beautifully. And then the Weaver coming in as well, getting the Ink Swell is just the final blow,
they
right?
Weaved it quite well, and the Weaver did his part. He found purpose in life. His purpose was to weave, in fact. Great job, young man.
I was gonna say I hate you, but there's got to be a better word, a bigger one.
Despise?
No, there's worse, right?
I don't know. That's pretty bad.
Come up with the think of the worst word you know. That's you right now.
Murder.
I want to murder.
It's good English, trust me. I know. It's my only language that I know, Syndra. I know better than you. Okay, murder you.
Yes.
Well, the 10-minute outpost came through. How did that go, actually? It was...
I think it was a split.
No,
it wasn't. Dire got both.
Both went to the Dire. Yeah, Nip got both. So the map control after that fight ended up paying off. And as a result, they have a less than 1k net worth lead. But they'll be pretty happy with this, for sure, considering how the game started.
Yeah, the sequence that just happened was so good. Not just because of the kills they got, but the way they played it. Like, it's just a feel-good moment. Everybody is like 5% HP, and nobody dies. They got one casualty, right? Who was it that died? Yes. I didn't remember.
Well, technically, everyone was a casualty. Remember the definition?
Oh, yeah.
We talked about this.
Era did die.
Yes. He was a casualty. You're technically correct. He was the casualty. That's fine. Nisha does have Dragon Form available. The Tier 1 tower did fall earlier, so the question is, will he want to go on top of the Tier 2 bot at any point? They're going to go for this initiation on top of Nisha, but the TP support is there. I believe the book was taken by Seneca, who's now level 6. Era still level 5.
Yeah.
So working his way towards the Astral Step. Is Era playing the 4 or the 5 this game?
He's 4.
And
but I mean,
about this before,
he hasn't really got any CS or kills, so he is poor. And Soneko is 3-0 and 4. So by comparison, he's really big. But in farm distribution, he still has more CS than the Grimstroke. So one has 3, the other has 6.
Yes, Soneko pretty close to finishing his arcane boots. And Era, lucky for him, found Arcane Ring. What an item. Terrific. Well played. Did find his Astral Step now, so will be a little bit more mobile as a result. DD, taken by Supreme, will not be Dragon-tailed. Nice pickup for him now. Is working towards a Spirit Vessel, which we did mention was going to be built by Weaver most likely, but it does make sense that Supreme would build it as well, since that's fairly common on Ember Spirits. And
still very curious
on Weaver.
What he gets on Weaver, what he queues up on next.
Okay.
Yep, Zor getting dove.
Zor, yeah. Inkswell is available, and here's the combo, but there's a double TP incoming. Yapzor will be saved thanks to the Aphotic Shield. Saberlight gonna Shikuchi away. Coddle was taken out. A little bit out of position there. Poor puppy. Nisha gonna use Dragon Form. Will Nip want to continue with this is the question. Saberlight will Shikuchi to safety. They're actually surrounding him inside their Tier 1 tower. Yapzor again, Aphotic Shield. There's the time-lapse keeping the Weaver alive. No, he dies right afterwards, actually. Seneko getting haunted. He's gonna attempt to TP out. Will be successful, surprisingly enough. Supreme, no remnants up at the moment, but has the move speed and actually will be killing a poor kobold in the meantime.
This is such a what is it you call it? No, I think I got it wrong in my head. Never mind. It's just like this. The game is just so much about the little things right now. Like everybody's at a sliver of HP. One team has a lot of save and the other has a lot of catch. So it's all about, like, do you have your defensive heroes in position helping each other out? Like, you saw Yapzor, how long it took there for them to finally get him. He purged off the the Inkswell first on the Weaver, then he gets shielded by a bad then Caudle comes in and helps. Keep in mind, Puppey isn't even level 6 yet, and they're still staying alive in these fights without their big defensive ultimate. So if Secret are managing right now, I think they're weathering the storm. Of course, Naga will be farming a lot, which is what NIP want with their game plan. So definitely on track for that. But considering the score is 10-2, it really doesn't feel like a big NIP lead whatsoever in the game. Like they've lost their mid and their top tower, whereas Secret has only lost their bottom tower. And I'm getting
bot
control
lane.
here.
Swarm is there. Era could catch up. I don't think they have the damage though.
No.
It's going basically straight for Radiance now. Has the treads with the casual ring of Tarask. You mentioned the Radiance. I'm guessing you like that on him this game, especially against the illusions later on for
absolutely. I think this build from Mutzer is the best he can go this game. Go Ring of Tarask or some sort of other early value item to sustain, and then straight Radiance. It's what your lineup wants. It wants these long drawn-out fights where you do passive damage, and it's the perfect item for that. Just keep each other alive, let the Radiance do the work over time.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
They had 3 in the vicinity, but we're not looking to take out MATUMBAMAN. Are they just lacking the damage, you think? They feel comfortable enough?
He's a really hard kill.
Yeah.
1700
He is 2 levels
health.
behind the Naga Siren at the current point in time. And the CS, in terms of net worth, actually, got quite the lead on Naga as well. Got quite the lead on everybody, in fact. Here comes Charlie.
Dire's
So they're just going to spot out Matamba.
Puppey's in trouble. He is
inside the
toast.
trees here. Yeah. Puppey is donezo. The Inkswell finishes him off. He's going to buy back into the game, surprising enough. He does have his ultimate to work with, Nisha. Spirit Vessel is already applied, but the Aphotic Shield instantly dispels. And there is Puppey's ult. MATUMBAMAN's going to be saved as a result, but he's getting relatively low. Supreme's going to jump in with his remnants. Will not find a kill, however. Era is the only one to die on the side of Nip, so it's a 1-for-1 with a buyback onto the Caudle. Seneko TP's out. Charlie's going to be a big kill, but the Song of Siren saves him. He's ticking down very low thanks to the Dragon Knight, but will live. And now Supreme and Saberlight and Seneko. Not he TP'd out, I guess not. Going to get the Soulbind onto 2. Do they have anything to follow it up by? No, it's just going to use for the slow, if nothing else. Saberlight, that's going to do as much damage as possible with time lapse into the tier 1 tower, looking for MATUMBAMAN, but the Aphotic Shield again saving another member of Team Secret, Zai, keeping everyone alive, it feels like.
Aphotic Shield's like the biggest spell of this game. It is so good against the Dire lineup. They're playing very much off of Slight Chains and off the Vessel, and he removes both on one hero with one spell that has a cooldown of 6 seconds. He counters Ember every single time. If this Abaddon is not dealt with like a Grimstroke Silence or sung off on the side by Naga or something, he is saving people forever. It really goes to show like the kind of the ideology behind how Secret are approaching this draft compared to the last one. It's just so much about we're going to keep each other alive, they're going to try to run at us and fight us, and we're just not going to let them get kills. They've got, I mean, I say that as they have 12 kills, but it doesn't feel like the Dire is accomplishing the goal of their lineup, right? Usually you would be happy to have 12 kills in 17 minutes. But Spectre is progressing, Dragon Knight is progressing, Abaddon is going full utility, by the way. I think it's the perfect choice here, going Vlad's into Pipe. Just,
Oh man, they're gonna go on top of him. This could be an enormous kill if they're able to find it. Zai with the Aphotic Shield again, but Spectre not able to get out, and Zai looks to be next. The borrow time does activate. He's gonna do as much damage as he can to Seneko, who's gonna attempt to TP out. Huh?
actually caught him.
Why was he trying to TP out? He was fine if he just ran. Was he not?
I'm
They had to kill
not
him.
sure. It was pretty close.
What in the
Like he
world?
could make a little bit of space, but Abaddon was super fast. He had 4 stacks of Curse on him.
Okay, I'll take your word for it.
Wondering if that's the right choice from Zai, by the way, going 1-4-4. It feels like a Max Mist Coil game to me, just because of how they're playing fights, right? At the same time, the Curse is very useful for his teammates. When it's on a target, it helps them out a lot. But considering how much he's spellcasting relative to hitting, I would have liked to see a bit more Mist Coil focus here. He is skilling it over his talent, though, so that's good to see. I think that's the right choice.
Oh, puppy. They actually used the scan in the bot lane to try to find him, but he ended up showing himself
Oh my
and
God.
instantly brought down by Charlie.
See ya.
Jesus. He has the Manta working on Diffusal, and that's when he starts to get really freaking annoying. And then the counterpart for Spectre just picked up his Sacred Relic, so still a full recipe to go. But that's kind of a huge moment for Spectre, obviously. But still, he's down 2,400 in net worth to that Naga. Now, I have a question for you in terms of item builds. We're going to go on to Zai here, but Fada can shield himself. The Dragon Knight build, he's going BKB, but went Shadowblade first. What do you think of this build? So my assumption is you initiate in Shadowblade form, haunt in afterwards to try to find kills. As Zai is
he didn't even pop his ult, but they found Nisha. That's bigger.
Yeah, he's at half HP. The Soulbind onto 2, and his TP is no longer there. So this is going to be an easy kill at the end of the day on 2 heroes, 2 cores in fact, and Yapzor looks really third.
They pressure onto Zai, and that opens up the Nisha kill on the side. He wasn't in range to help him in the first part, and then they take him down like 80% before Zai can help. Yeah, the idea is definitely you get the Shadow Blade so that you have a catch that you can haunt on and get your Caudal ulti off on, right? Absolutely. That was really big. That was NIP's biggest move of the game, I think.
Do you like that build on DK this game?
I think it's fine. I think it's the one reliable way they catch this Weaver and Ember, right? Killing Weaver is definitely nice for them, but... And they also need some sort of mobility, right? I don't think you can strictly play defensive forever. Like, you need a way of playing once you hit your timing, so he's setting up for that as well. Good. Yeah. That kill on Matsu earlier, though, really big deal. He would have had his Radiance a minute ago if they didn't kill him top when Zai was nearby. And they just overwhelmed them with numbers. That is one of the...
finishing here shortly.
It's one of the big challenges when you play this kind of defensive lineup such as Secrets, is placing your heroes correctly can be very difficult. Like, you want the right amount of protection for the cores, but not too much. And since you're not taking that much initiative in the game, somewhere will be your weak spot every time. Saberlight. You'll be fine.
Yeah, he's gonna get disrupted, but we'll Shikuchi out. Doesn't look like they have any vision. Is that a normal? Yeah, so getting initiated on, but here comes the Will-O-Wisp onto 2 heroes, but they're both going to get outside of it. So Secret's going to attempt to go back in, but the Song of the Siren will be used, and now the Will-O-Wisp is gone. Let's see if they can go on top of this. No, they're actually going to potentially retreat here. Saberlight is found. Will be brought down by the Keeper of the Light, it looks like. So it's a 1 for 2 as Secret will continue. And they will find a third in the form of Supreme. Nice fight overall, and that's the Radiance reveal.
Line. So this is the big timing Secret have been waiting for 20 minutes. Now it's about keeping up the momentum here, and ideally maybe getting a secondary catch even. I'm wondering if they're going to try to either get... I mean, it's only really Spectre here that could buy a catch, I suppose. Oh, close call on the blind there, but he did get out.
It might be a nice fake out, but it's going to be low ground here for the stun from DK. And down goes Era. So it ends up being 4 kills.
And the key thing here is, if you notice, the fights that Secret are doing the best in, or even winning, are where the enemy team tries to dive a support next to the tower. This was the second time they tried to kill Yapzor at this top tower. And it gives them a good location to Caudal ulti. It gives them a very clear way of playing the fight with their Abaddon, who just has a very easy connection point where he can start saving people. And once NIP are committed in like that, the lack of catch doesn't matter as much when your team is naturally out of position. Then they've already caught themselves, right? So all you need to do is get in the damage, and they get it done. Roche attempt.
Well, Roshan is going to be here for Nips. They have the minus armor to work with it.
They might just be giving it up. I think it looks like Secret feel like this is happening, but they will.
They don't have it all. There's no haunt. Dragon form is down. Will-O-Wisp is down for 20 seconds. They're going to try to delay. Zai's just going to end up walking in. Look at the attempt here. Aquatic Shield is down, but Charlie will get the Aegis of Immortality. Very low. They could pop it pretty early. Song of the Siren's coming back very shortly. Era drops first, though. Aegis is down. We'll see if they want to fight as these ultimates are now online for Secret. Caudal has absolutely no mana, but pops the wand. There's the Will-O-Wisp onto 3. Ember Spear on the other side. Song of the Siren is used in conjunction, though. So Puppey does go down as Supreme attempted to get out of dodge. A nice slow here. Beautiful stroke of fate slowing everybody down. Supreme pops the Essence Shift, or the Essence Spring, but he has absolutely no remnants for 5 seconds, so all it requires is 1 stun, and they find it. So another nice fight for Secret, despite losing the Roshan in theory. Charlie, his Aegis is already gone. And now we just apply pressure to buildings. I mean, the combo of DK Abaddon, very, very strong at taking buildings.
Yep. This tower's gone for sure.
Dire structures are
And
fortified.
another thing that is happening for NIP in these fights is, again, it's not just that you're playing a lineup with catch when you into a lineup with saves. It's that your catch is charge based, right? Like you run out of cooldowns eventually. The Void Spirit uses 2 Astral Steps in the fight. Suddenly he's a target for the Haunt or Dragon Knight stun. The Ember uses all of his remnants. You saw it there. He has to use them offensively so they have enough damage. And Secret just outlasts all of it. And then there's no escape plan. The only hero that's realistically... I mean, it's not totally true. You have Song of the Siren. And then everybody needs to have TPs ready. If they don't, you get run down eventually by this Dragon Knight and Spectre. So... I think this is a really cool game to watch compared to the first game. The first game was great as well, but it feels like the strategy overall is like really... It's very different approaches the lineups are playing with, and I think it's kind of a breath of fresh air in Dota, where it feels like in the last like 2 weeks or to a month, it's almost been the same all the time, right? Like everybody just wants to fight nonstop, play aggressive, have stuns, and this is very different from Secret. It's cool to see.
Yeah, we could go all the way back to TI1 days. Anti-Mage versus Spectre. Bring it back. Woo! That was some good shit right there. You know, the one memory I have of TI1 that I just, every time I think of it, I laugh. And it's not the Anti-Mage versus Spectre, because that was miserable. But the fact that most of the games were not cast, right? The only way you could watch was they had the directed camera. And there were so many Tinker picks, and the directed camera would always show Tinker going back to base constantly. Like literally 50% of the game is watching Tinker TP to base and somewhere else. It was, God, that was good times, Cinderella.
Dota was still in beta back then, so.
That was alpha, I'm pretty sure.
I mean, yeah. Guess we're in beta now.
Somewhere in between alpha and beta, yeah. Longest beta of all time. Tier 2 tower taken out in the top.
Radiant's middle tower.
And it looks like they're going to continue. I mean, Dragon Form is available, and Haunt, of course, is available. MATUMBAMAN is about 700 away from finishing his Manta, which is going to power spike him a bit in terms of damage dealt. He's catching up in terms of net worth, 3k behind the Naga Siren.
It's just his net worth is so high value, right? Like just comparing these two heroes, just saying one hero is richer than the other doesn't really translate into game impact, because Naga's net worth is... It's not as easy to use in fights. Matu just goes in, has any sort of protection, and he gets the job done. The Naga illusions are not overpowering enough yet that his net worth truly is shown in fights.
They're going to find niches. He's going to pop the Dragon Form, but he's going to use the Dragon Kill. The Void Spirit era uses all his charges. And he's going to get staggered, but he uses the wand and lives as a result. So, a good attempt there. They did force the Dragon Knight ult. So this is another, like, looking at the ultimate situation, right? Dragon Form, Haunt, when those are down, that opens up opportunities for Nip. Where Secret doesn't really have the same kind of luxury. I mean, Song of the Siren is the one big one, I guess, but we'll see if that comes into play at all during the rest of this game. Nisha already getting drained heavily. Forced to disrupt him is Yapster. We're gonna have 3 dragons as a result. Era jumps in with the Astral Step. There's a Will-O-Wisp used onto 2 heroes, as unfortunately Puppy dies within the Will-O-Wisp. The fastest Ignis was not enough for him. Soulbind onto 2. BKB popped by the Dragon Knight. They're just gonna turn onto Era. He easily melts. Yapster in the meantime getting healed by Zai. Supreme still working on the Aghanim Scepter. Gonna get silenced here. Essence Ring is popped again. Naga Siren getting extremely low. Has the Song of the Siren. We'll have to pop it here very shortly, but the Ink Swell keeps him safe. And I'm gonna turn this back around as MATUMBAMAN very low, drops to the deck. 3 for 1 with the buyback coming from Era, and this looks to be a very close team wipe here in favor of Nip. Nisha, this mana drain is just destroying Secret.
Really, really key difference here from NIP. They fight in a much more open spot, whereas the previous team fights has been close to the enemy tower. And the Coddle ulti gets forced super early. It's not really impactful, because the heroes are just playing around it with their reach. And the Haunt from Matu coming in a little bit late as well. So they already got the Coddle kill and were ahead in the fight before the Haunt came in. I think they were deciding if they wanted to do it. Puppy is dead again.
Saberlight has a diffusal blade as well, by the way.
And they,
double diffusable blades.
it's such a big deal that Naga had hearts. Like, that really turned that fight around. NIP just found a timing here where Naga, with that extra, like, 33% health he had from the heart compared to the previous fight, the illusions were just a little bit too much this time. That's a very big deal for NIP.
Well,
won't be able to get a base
she's
tower.
very powerful. I mean, we talked about when she got Manta Diffusal, she's very annoying and she can deal a lot of damage. But once that heart comes, she's very strong. Nisha, getting vision here of Supreme, but nobody's even remotely close to Nisha right now. He's gonna be seen by this sentry, and just like that, look how fast he's melting with this mana burn. Forced to pop his BKB, which is now at 8 seconds, so that's pretty unfortunate for him.
Now Charlie is working on the Spectre counter until Spectre has either BKB or plays around it, obviously. The Silver Edge to break dispersion. Classic solution to a late game Spectre.
Can I ask, why would he be the one that builds it, though? Why wouldn't it be Weaver or somebody else?
I'm thinking that Charlie could also just go for a butterfly here and just make his illusions too strong. I'm not sure if I like this. Like, yeah, you're countering the Spectre and the Dragon Knight with this item. Dragon Knight already has BKB, though. And Abaddon, yeah, he has to manually press ult. Pay attention. Oh, Era's dead.
Era's dead?
But, I don't know. I would like a butter more here. Just get more stronger
let me ask you this. So obviously Weaver has invisibility with Shikuchi, and it's going to look really stupid for him to get a second invisibility item. But do you really care at all about that? All you care about is the break? You know what I mean? Is that worth getting?
I don't know
if he can easily get it off too. Like, he has super ridiculous move speed.
Oh, got the chains on the wrong guy there.
And Abaddon with the Aphotic Shield, keeping Puppy safe. Looks like Nip is on the run right now. They're going to see Charlie. Song is available. He will pop it. And will likely TP out.
If Nisha could have predicted that song and premeditatively BKB'd, that could have got really interesting, I think. But they might not have wanted to fight regardless if he uses BKB like that. I believe Charlie was in Glimmer, though, when he cast the song, so they couldn't see the animation, I think.
Now, Supreme has an Ags, by the way. Very powerful Ag and Interceptor. Gonna have ridiculous mobility now. And MATUMBAMAN being spotted out by Saberlight, and Supreme's gonna jump in as well. With the Searing Chains off, Haunt used. Where does he end up? He's going all over the place. Figures his best option is this side of the river. But that means that they can't really fight. That's a big ultimate down.
His bottom tower is under attack.
Yep. Just for a moment in time there, Matsu doesn't have any protective hero near him. There's no Shadow Demon, no Abaddon near. So, nice move from NIP to put on the pressure, identifying that there is a play there to be made. And now I think it's going to calm down a little bit. I think we're waiting for Roche. Secret would love to get a Haunt available for this Roche, and then they might even try to initiate it. Spectre with Manta kills Roshan relatively quickly. And he has a lot of good protection there, obviously, with Abaddon, with Pipe, and the Caudal ulti should NIP try to engage. Maybe they won't even get time to get Haunt ready. Roche is up in 5. NIP will possibly scout it if they send in literally anything into the pit now. They would know it's spawning now. But looks like they're just on the hunt for Nisha. He's finding us a sentry ward.
He's good to go. Oh, he's snared. He's getting surrounded. Zai is coming for moral support, among other things. Soulbind is going to be on both of them. And yeah, with that BKB and Dragon Form activate, I believe Nip was probably just back here. That's what Will-O-Wisp used. They're trying to get the Weaver. Nice blinding light back into the Will-O-Wisp, so Weaver's dead and Nip will be forced to retreat. I mean, you popped a big ultimate and BKB. I feel like getting out of there was the right choice here. They might find some more, though. Dragon Tail connects onto Suneko.
Oh,
too late. That's a big ultimate on the side of Nip down now, as Era is completely surrounded here. That is his last astral step. We'll get an Aether Remnant down, but feels like these are somewhat unnecessary deaths.
Yeah, this is really bad, because now they can't even steal the Roche with Song of the Siren. Secret know it's on a cooldown for a minute here, so they could try to go for Roche with 3 dead heroes in the enemy team and the Mantis already on spec. I think they successfully just turned somehow they got 3 kills out of this because NAP were so eager to keep going after they forced the Dragon Knight, BKB, and Form. I think they were able to disengage there fully, cleanly, if they wanted to. And take that W with no Dragon Form, no BKB, and no Haunt. Maybe they could have been the ones initiating Roche, but now they got bit over a little more than they could chew.
They traded Soulbind for Dragon Knight ult and BKB. That was good enough. But then Weaver got caught, and then everybody started getting caught.
Yeah.
That was kind of like the friend or save your friend syndrome, right?
Yep, absolutely.
As a result, it's basically an even game in terms of net worth. Naga still with a 3. She's been maintaining this pretty much exact same lead throughout the game on top of MATUMBAMAN. Did finish the Silver Edge, so we'll see how effective that ends up being against the Spectre. I mean, it's just kind of weird for me because she doesn't really want to be the one that, like, I don't know. Is she just going to use it in the middle of fights? I guess it's not really an initiation thing at all. Could set up some good songs, I suppose. There's some cool plays with that.
Yeah, I kind of.
But they don't have a wombo combo.
Yeah, I mean, what if, right? What if he gets in on top of the Spectre with this Silver Edge? Can they, or on top of the Dragon Knight? Can they kill the hero or not? There's Spectre can haunt away. There's Manta. There's Dragon.
Will-O-Wisp. They're gonna find Supreme. No, the Yule's counter is here. It's gonna remnant up to the high ground and will live as a result. That was very close. Very, very close. And
looks like the supports might be in trouble though. Good Glimmer.
Yeah, Yapsor taking some damage here from Saberlight. As the fight's a bit scattered right now. Yapsor is taking the brunt of the damage though. He's gonna disrupt himself. We'll see if he ends up living through the day. Era getting quite low as well. Dragon Knight soulbound and destroyed. That's his dragon form down. Will come back with the Aegis, but as a mere mortal, unfortunately for him. He's gonna get taunted right off the bat by the Aether Remnant. MATUMBAMAN trying to take some damage. He has the cheese, so will stay alive for a long period of time unless they're able to lock him down. And the Weaver is gonna be saved by Song. And Nip looks like they're just going to retreat. Or are they? There's this thing so Weaver can stay very safe. Supreme trying to apply as much pressure as possible onto the Spectre. Still has his cheese available. Nisha is the one that's in real peril here.
Does he want to give the cheese to Nisha here?
It's going to be close, but nope, doesn't move any items to the backpack. So that is 4-4-1. Nip again coming out on top of this fight. MATUMBAMAN should be fine. And Nip will probably just go down mid.
At least that Silver Edge surprise factor definitely played a role there. It's hard to quantify how this fight goes if he has a butterfly instead, right? Like, we can always only speculate what really happens, but that time around he got 2 Silver Edge hits off on Dragon Knight, one before the Aegis and one after, and it definitely made those kills a lot faster.
Yeah. I think it just feels like they just have an awkward lineup for a Silver Edge, right? So maybe they just felt like that's the best hero to have it. They didn't want to be embarrassed by the double in this. I understand that completely. Makes sense, Tinru.
Now, some big things are coming up for NIP now as well. They've got the BKB on Weaver, so now he finally has 10 seconds of safety. He's not going to die to anything while he's BKB'd this game, unless Spectre gets a Basher, which, actually, okay, he just got it, but even then, you can play around that relatively easily. You got the Naga Siren closing in on the next item. I'm assuming it will be Butter, but we'll see if Charlie thinks against that. And on the other side, Secret, the biggest pickup, Aghanims on Yapsor. He's 1-9 and somehow has managed to farm up 3 items.
He found a Philosopher's Stone, so...
Yeah, that's true. That'll help. And 100 CS doesn't hurt either. So who do you purge with this? You have Break, which doesn't really break anything. Does it break Geminate attack, I guess? It doesn't really matter much.
And Riptide, which won't matter since you have a bunch of illusions out probably already. I guess it's mostly for... I mean, it's an amazing...
really good against Ember.
Yeah, it takes off Flame Guard. That's a big one.
It's also just the damage, right? Like 3 charges of this is a lot of damage that you can just pile on top of a target. Gives you way more control in the fights. You're playing against some heroes that are pretty mobility based in both the Ember and the Naga and the White Spirit, all 3 of those for that matter. They can't Ewell during it. You have 3 charges. So I don't disagree with the choice. I think this item on Shadow Demon is almost a must buy in the mid-late game when you're this farmed. It's just not the best game for it. Some games is like, oh my god, you know?
Yeah, but I mean, if you're on the other side, then it would be god tier.
Yeah, it would be insane for me.
DK and Spectre, even Abaddon to some degree. Well, illusions are going to be copied here. So Nip is getting a little taste of their own medicine. How big of an impact does that have, the disruption on these illusions?
It's pretty big. It gets bigger when YapzOr hits level 25, but that's ways away. So then he can get the extra charges.
Yeah, true.
Because then he can use one offensively and still have one defensively. I think the tricky thing for SD this game is deciding what to do in the fight, right? Like, are you trying to put pressure or are you trying to save? And you also need to save yourself, because you're getting jumped.
Supreme keeping out.
No bash.
No bash. Unfortunate for him.
Now Charlie.
Dragon-tailed up. There's the Will-O-Wisp. They're going to pop the dragon form. Charlie attempting to get out, but no way. And that could be a terrible fight here for Nip if it continues to go down this road. Saberlight pops the BKB, chasing Puppy, but...
No bash.
Yeah, no bash again.
Oof. Wait, who TP'd out, you said?
Supreme TP'd out originally.
Did he not leave a remnant behind?
I'm not sure.
Well, either way, the Naga was just completely isolated. Nobody was near to help. They basically killed the Naga Siren with Dragon Knight and Spectre just running at him. And this was a high ground that NIP had control over. Secret just walked up and were like, nope, our hill. I guess the big mistake here is Secret still had a ward there from like 4 minutes ago, and NIP did not manage to secure the area properly with vision. So Secret did sense an opportunity there and take it. That's so big. Killing Naga right now is like, it's game changing. Especially if he has to buy back, then it's really bad.
He's still not going Butterfly, by the way. Going for Scotty now, it looks like. Which obviously is a good item in its own right.
Man, why not? Why does he not want Butter?
Yeah,
is it not? Am I missing something here? Isn't it like really good this game?
I mean, looking at his item slots, he won't even be able to get anything else after this.
And maybe he thinks it's more important that his Illus have raw health, and he's worried about the Shadow Demon disruptions with Butter, that they're too strong. That's a possibility. That's his reasoning here. I'm just thinking, like, you're playing against a Dragon Knight and a Spectre who both don't have MKB or Rapier and don't want to buy it anytime soon. They would really like to not buy this item. So if you have a Butter, they're going to struggle to kill you. The only thing that is the problem there is, of course, that Shadow Demon. But, well, no. I'm not a Naga player. I might be saying stupid stuff. Not sure. But I feel like...
Stupid stuff. That's the name of our casting.
I feel like most Naga games I see in these kind of conditions, that item is on the menu. That's why I'm surprised. It's kind of the norm. That's why I'm so used to seeing it. No. But not coming out here. Or an Abyssal Blade could also be a choice. Scotty.
You're a real hater on Scotty.
No, I'm definitely not a hater. It's just I'm not a lover. As far as Scotty goes.
Okay.
Sorry.
Glad you cleared that up.
Cheers.
Should mention that Nisha does have the Mjolnir, so we'll be able to help take out these illusions. And we'll be going for Aghanim Scepter next. The Black Dragon shall live if the game goes long enough. Which is obviously amazing in its own right. Just the magic resist alone is crazy. It was like
Zai gonna break a smoke.
Yep. Oh, Will-O-Wisp is popped. Dragon Tail to follow, and Weaver is dead. Beginning the fight, and that's no Weaver for 84 seconds. Song of the Siren is available if they get any closer, but those illusions, my God, how annoying can they be? And that'll break things up.
That was the blink reveal on DK. Has he used it before? Maybe I didn't notice. No. He got on top of Weaver real fast. That's why Caudle went for the ult as well here, is that the follow-up was available. It's a good pick. It's not the end of the world for NIP though. Like, yeah, you lose a Weaver, but Roche isn't up. The enemy team used Caudle ulti, Dragon Form, and Haunt. So it's passable.
Yeah, Weaver was a very right-click carry type of build right now. Use the BKB. We'll be going for Satanic. It was like even though this is kind of an old school mentality, the BKB Lincolns has a lot of value to this game because that Dragon Tail has actually ruined him every single time. And it's not like he has any time to react with the Blink or the Shadow Pit, unless you have vision, of course.
It's just, if you have BKB Lincolns, yeah, what are you? What's your purpose?
What's your purpose? Yes, your purpose is to survive, you see. The name of the game is DK so much damage being applied to him right now. He is in Viz. Not sure if they have vision. There's the dust though. And oh, nice disruption from Yapsor. MATUMBAMAN soulbound to the DK, I believe. And they're going to take a lot of damage as a result. He's getting extremely low now. He's going to get bashed. Has his Manta and Song still up. Holding on to both. Man,
he is finishing with that Song.
Yes, he is.
Okay.
They could go back again. His heart is regenerating now.
Oh, this is a big turnaround to get Nisha. Oh, they dropped the sentry
Dragon
first?
Tail. He's going to blink out before any damage is applied. Yapsor. And Zai might be in a little bit of trouble. Zai had to pop his borrowed time kind of early here. MATUMBAMAN is still fighting. Let's see if they actually want to continue here. Remember, Cheese is still on MATUMBAMAN. Charlie taking the part of the damage. There's a big Will-O-Wisp on several heroes. Charlie trying to get off his song, but he's getting stun locked inside the Will-O-Wisp. And he is dead for 90 seconds. No buyback to speak of. And here comes Secret.
Secret are playing this really, really well. The way they're weaving around.
Onto Seneko, disruption cancels the TP. They're going for more. Supreme taking the brunt of the damage, and the Dragon Tail is enough with the right clicks of both heroes. He drops the Gem of True Sight as well. As finally Seneko falls, we'll buy back into the game, and this is going to be a Rax, if not more. Double buyback. Naga Siren still dead for 60 seconds. Not even remotely close to his buyback. They're just going to go for two. They're going to try to force out this non-existent buyback on the Naga Siren. Spectre, again, still has the cheese, so is very healthy to go in here, very confident. Dragon form is about to go out, though, so their push will be much weaker in just a moment here. Soulbind onto 2, and they're going to jump onto the Void Spirit. Era will be punished and bought back into the game as a result. This is looking like a double Rax. Fortification is finally used after all this time, but still no Naga for 30 seconds. They should be able to get at least this melee and run. Yep. See if Nip can get some very important exit.
They're fake backing. They still... Oh, are they? They were fake faking. Okay.
Fake faking, yes. My favorite.
So... in all this time, Matu has still not needed to use cheese. Like, they just can't put enough pressure on him, and now he has a butterfly. This Spectre is almost invincible now. He has so many saves behind him. There's no true strike on the Dire against his butter. He's level 25 with the dispersion talent. It's really problematic for an IP now. I mean,
so I don't
clearly
want to see
they
that
lost
guy.
A lot of racks, but
like the Naga Siren, Charlie obviously was not able to get his ult off inside the Will-O-Wisp. So I mean, the layering for Secret has been just brilliant. But does he live in some of these fights if he has Butterfly instead of the Silver Edge? A lot of the damage is the right clicks from DK and Spectre.
I do think yes. It might also be like maybe I'm looking at it wrong. BKB is
DK, Nisha, BKB, Dragon Form, buyback onto the Weaver is going to time lapse back in. It sounds like. Nope, he actually just TPs in. Time lapse is still available. Roche is up. I'm not sure if Secret want to go for this, but the Dragon Form was activated. This is going to be a big ult down.
They needed it to catch the Weaver. He popped it for the stun. I'm thinking about if Naga, if it doesn't go the butter, if it could go BKB. I mean, we're talking about it a lot here, but it's very clear that he's struggling to be able to man fight. Maybe a BKB is a solution there, so he doesn't get soul captured, he doesn't get burnt down by the DK, the Spectre damage. Just dodging Desolate even is a big deal.
Under attack.
I mean, I think that this right now is a potential opening for Nip, knowing that Dragon Form is down. Maybe you try to force this Roche fight. I mean, that's kind of a massive thing. Obviously, everything else is up for... Oh no, Will-O-Wisp is still down. Let's see if they want to fight or not. There's the Hex onto Zai. Oh, looks like Era just gets blown up very, very fast.
Oh, the Abyssal as well.
MATUMBAMAN jumps in with the Abyssal Saberlight, has the time lapse in place, but will lose full HP as a result. And he's still taking heavy damage here. Ember Spirit is just going left, right, and center all over the map. He's very fast. Very hard to actually stun that hero. Speaking of stunning heroes, Weaver is getting really low. They don't have vision to finish him off, though. Saberlight will have to go back to base now. The break apply to DK, but again, the save on disruption. They have ways to deal with this. Charlie, he has the song. He gets stunned, though. This could be the game right here. It's going to be close. And down he goes again. GG is called. Wow. Secret wins 2-0.
This was really great to watch. This was very entertaining Dota. I think once again, NIP, it's not a bad showing in this game. I don't think they should feel too down about their performance in either game. There are definitely mistakes in the replay to look at, but there is for both teams. Secret just with a bit more